Welcome back to another episode of Becoming Relentless. I am your host, Noa McCabe. I'm a Team Mahaley coach, opposing coach, and I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Danielle Kusenberger, Team Mahaley coach.
Oh, and Cecilee Wech, coach.
Flawless coach.
Yes, I really like your top.
Thank you.
I said.
I got it from a little thrift store here in Austin. I think it's super cool. It has like this mesh top, Harley Davidson for my little biker chicks out there.
Yeah.
I went thrifting the other day and it was so much
How much stuff
fun.
did you find?
I got those shorts that I wore the other night with like the fringe on the bottom.
Ooh,
I got those.
Way.
Yeah, I got those at the
those are
thrift
the
store.
shorts.
And then I got this top. I got that little bat top, like the little neon green bat top. So it's not like, it wasn't necessarily like all thrift, but it was like also, it's kind of like in the university district. And so there's a bunch of thrift shops, but then they also have like these booths that pop up on the weekends with a bunch of like, what are they called? Like other like creators, I guess, and boutiques, like little mini, like, and they come and like they bring like things that they've like modified or made themselves, all like local, and like they thrift the items and then like recreate. So it's kind of like upcycled stuff. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend.
How much? I was gonna say, like, how much of the stuff did you buy off like the boutiques versus the actual store?
I would say that it was like 50-50. It was literally 50-50.
So I'm like, I want to go right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Really awesome environment. And what I loved about it was like I went with Jill and Juliana. And what I loved about it was it kind of immersed me into like a different part of like a different type of people and culture like within Austin, because it's funny. I think we all get so like wrapped up in the bodybuilding world, right?
Yeah.
And so we're very much like in this circle of like just being around bodybuilders. And so going out and doing that, it was weird to like feel immersed within like a different culture of Austin. And I just thought it was really cool because like you get to meet a bunch of people because it's like super busy and like everyone's super friendly. It's kind of like a pop-up shop where everyone's like socializing. They have like a little DJ playing.
Oh, that's
so it was really cool. Highly recommend to anyone in Austin.
All go.
Yeah.
Now.
And they have a really cool shoe store. I think it's called Nice Kicks on the corner there too.
Is it also a thrift?
No, that one's
like actual shoes. Yeah.
Like, let's go buy some Jordans, baby.
Oh,
got it.
Nice kicks.
Get ready to drop a pretty penny.
No, but I love that. I think that's such a good point too.
Yeah.
Like we do get so caught up in like our bubble that it's kind of nice to go do something outside of that. And I think that's huge. Like I feel like that ties into what I wanted to talk about today too, with like setting goals outside of like fitness, and also just like knowing when you're in a long growth season or if you're in a season of improvement and you don't have that end date. Doing stuff like this is so important. And I know like for me, like I've lost sight of that for sure sometimes, where I'm just like I want to get on stage, or I want to prep, I want to be on the grind, and I forget to just like sit back and enjoy life as like a bodybuilder, but also as like just a human being.
Yeah.
Like, so that's really cool. I want to do that. I need to go shopping anyways.
Yes. It's a lot of fun.
No, that's so fun. It's creative.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, so I think I'm probably going to be going like at least once a month, because that's how I want to like get my clothes for like my photo shoots too.
Yeah.
Because you guys will see this one in an upcoming photo shoot for sure.
I'm just so excited.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how often they like come in with new stuff.
Like every single week. They're always creating.
I think we
something
should
new.
go right now.
Sorry,
this.
guys.
See y'all later.
We're done. This was
We're just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll show y'all on the pod. We'll just do like a photo.
It'll be like a vlog.
Oh my god, a thrift shop
we all walk in with
haul
our
on the pod.
outfit.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I bet that would go.
I think
really
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, that is cool. Austin. Well, I feel like every place has like different cultures, different just a lot of different stuff. You know, based off what you're into.
But I love what you're saying, Noah, about like not losing sight of the goal, but also having other goals within your life. Because I think a lot of people get wrapped up in bodybuilding. Like there's nothing else. All they can do is focus on the one goal and getting on stage. And there's a time and place for that, yes, in prep. But I still think that it's really important to have other goals, both in your off season and in your prep that you have focus on, because you're going to go crazy if all you do is focus on one goal. Like think about Ross. He set how many goals? It was like 10 really, really big goals for like to accomplish throughout his prep. And he achieved them all.
Yeah.
And his prep. And he's going to the Olympia.
Dude, that's insane.
So I think that the biggest item here is don't just allow yourself to get wrapped up in one goal. You should be constantly evolving in all areas of your life, regardless of if you're in off season or if you're in prep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say too, it keeps it life exciting. Like, you know, it's not. I don't know. There's so much to experience. So if you have more goals in different areas of your life, you're experiencing more.
Sometimes I think it's easy to want to bury yourself into bodybuilding so that you almost have that. I don't want to say it's an excuse, but you have like, oh, well, I'm on prep, or like, oh, I'm a bodybuilder, so I can't do that. And then you're like shutting yourself off to the possibilities of achieving and experiencing more outside of bodybuilding because you've told yourself that like, well, this is my one goal. Like I want to step on stage, so I'm just going to focus on this.
I feel like too, I know I've been there. I'm not saying this is for everyone, like their reasoning, but when I did that in my beginning stages of competing, I wanted to like feel sorry for myself. So I felt like I was sacrificing more, so I deserved the goal more.
Right.
And it was like, at the end of the day, everyone's doing the same. Like we're all sacrificing. Like,
yeah.
And you're not the only one that has like a lot of cardio. Like people are doing more than you in terms of like the harsh protocols. But I know that's changed now.
I definitely agree. Like, but I also think maybe it's a first time competitor, or it's like a newbie competitor type mindset where they do get so attached. And so that's why, because we coach the way that we coach, like a lot of my athletes, even just currently, like right now, are in improvement seasons or they're in growth seasons. And I haven't given them any sort of timeline about shows. Like I'm like 2024. And they're like, well, when in 2024? I couldn't tell you.
Your physique is going to have to speak to me.
Yes. Like, and not having that carrot to dangle in front of them, I think they struggle with, because the motivation gets low. They feel like they're failing somehow because there's no like set targets. So what do you guys do like when you're in your improvement seasons? Now that we're not newbie competitors, we've been doing this for a long time. What do you think they need to know as more newer or less experienced competitors?
Yeah. I say, well, first of all, like my thing is the mini goals. Like if just focus on what you can do right now. Like the main goal is to improve your physique every week. So what can you do in this week to be better than last week? That's going to help compile into like an actual big goal outcome to be placed within like their journey. That's like even with motivation or just like overall progress, I think the mini goals are super big.
What are some examples of mini goals?
Yeah. So for lifestyle athletes, if like you don't have a coach and you're eating junk food, I got this on my Q&A. They eat junk food all the time. How do they stop? And I said, well, if you eat it like 5 days a week, set your goal to be eating it twice a week instead of 5 days a week. So small goals that are tangible, or training PRs, or like just going to the gym a certain number of days of the week, making sure your form is better than last week, really focusing and dialing in mentally more than you did last week. Things that you know you could do better at that are tangible, mini goals towards those.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's super helpful. And so like, what would you say to somebody who wants to be the hardcore bodybuilder and they want to go all in on bodybuilding, so they don't know what to do outside of that? Like when I say, let's set some non-fitness goals, they're just like, I don't know.
I feel like, okay, I would first start, there's things that are non-fitness but still fitness, like walks. Like if you literally don't know, just go to a different park every week that is still like fitness oriented, I guess. But it's also different, and it's not like just stepping to hit your step goal. Like make it an experience. I think things that are trickling out of not being directly fitness but still somewhat fitness can help them just explore more freedom in terms of creativity. Like for me though, I like to do creative things. So like shuffling and whatnot. But some people don't know what that is. They don't know their interests. So it's just like just like someone coming out of high school, what are your interests? Oftentimes they don't know. So it's explore things, like do a different creative thing that you haven't done before every week, like paint or like just something different.
Yeah.
Explore yourself. Basically make goals every single week to do something that you don't normally do. Whether it's going on a walk at a different park, thrift shopping.
Yeah.
Trying out intramural soccer team. Anything like that. I think that those are really good goals for self-expansion and growing more, connecting with yourself more outside of bodybuilding. And then you can also then take it and set professional goals. I think those are really good and exciting, whether it's within your job or if you're embarking on a new adventure that's entrepreneurial.
Yeah. I would also say too, if you're like, well, I don't have money to spend on that, or like, dude, okay, you can't thrift shop even though it's really cheap. Go in your closet. What clothes you don't wear? Like cut them up. Like that's still something. Like get creative or cook. Just cook different foods. That's like prep. That's in prep, you know? There's just so much to do that you have to allow your mind to be creative and think outside the box of what you normally do.
Yeah. That's a great point. And even the things that you have in your house, like you could find something to do with that. I'm sure that somebody has like a notebook that has pages in it. You can just sit and write.
Yeah. Journaling. I always think journaling is a great idea.
Yeah. Rearrange your furniture. Just make it different. I really do think, I have one. Sorry. You could, like with the house thing, rearranging your furniture makes you feel like you are like doing something exciting. You're going to walk home to something different. Same thing with going on a new walk every week or every day. Like take a new route, drive a new route to the gym instead of going the same route to get your steps in. Like go a different route. Those little things seem like nothing, but they actually help your mind be more creative and think differently because you're opening your mind to something new.
Yeah. I really love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I kind of have a hot take a little bit.
Give me a hot.
So something I've been reflecting on, and I haven't prepped had a successful prep in a while, but I've been thinking about what my next prep will look like and things that I'm going to do to ensure that it's more successful and that my mental stays in a better spot. And I feel like the biggest factor that I keep heading back to is I want to keep as many variables from my off season the same as they were in my prep. So my life experiences, what I go and do, the time that I spend with my friends, the self-expansion, the goals that I set for myself, what I do outside of bodybuilding, I want to keep that basically the same and continue to explore that and not have that just be an off-season thing. I want to continue that through my prep, and I think that the more similar you can make your off-season to your prep, the more successful it's going to be.
I agree. Oh, sorry, did I interrupt?
No.
Okay, so I agree. And I want to do the same thing right now, but I also realize there's a lot like I want to change in my off season. Well, I'm in prep now, but there's a lot I want to change in my off season that I want to mirror my prep, but not necessarily in terms of like a harsh way, just more so I want these habits in my off season so I can have them in my prep as well. Like the morning routine.
Yep.
Like that doesn't have to be just a prep thing. Do it in the off season as well. Like, you know,
Yeah. They both should mirror each other. Like the habits that you create in your off season and the habits you create in your prep should basically mirror each other. You shouldn't just go all in on your prep because it's prep. You should translate those to your off season and vice versa.
Right.
It's almost like this really backwards way of finding balance in a sense.
But like at the end of the day too, people always think about balance of like having best of both worlds. But you have best of both worlds by pushing and benefiting yourself in the ways that you really want.
Yeah.
In the ways that you want to feel all the time.
I will say, ever since I committed to my morning routine, my life has been a million times better. So much better.
It's crazy how you feel, right?
My happiness, so much better. My mental health, so much better. Or even on days when I wake up and I feel, we all have them. You wake up and you feel, I do not want to do today. My anxiety is high. I just feel very low. And that's generally when I would be like, okay, you can sleep in, don't do your morning routine, just get to work. And I've really committed to making sure that I stick on it, even on the days that I don't feel like doing it. And every single time it turns my day around. Even if I wake up feeling that way, if I go and I accomplish my 3 items that I set for myself every single morning, then I am on a much better trajectory. And it basically like almost solves my mental issues in the morning.
Yeah.
It's strange.
I think it's very true though. For example, I've been really good, but today I didn't do my morning routine at all. And I literally, my anxiety, I felt it since I like got out of bed. I was like, oh no, like this is like, your anxiety just skyrockets. Like it's always there. So I admire you for that. Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think I've been fine-tuning my own morning routine because I found that having high cardio for the long amount of time that I have, I was starting to resist. I just felt resistance there. And normally I love getting up and doing cardio. Like normally I look forward to it because I love to start my day with movement and a sweat. But the past, I would say 3 weeks, I would snooze, which I hardly ever do. I keep my phone in the kitchen. So I would get out of bed, walk to the kitchen, snooze my alarm, and then go back to bed. And like, that's just not something that I like to do. So just noticing that in me, I was like, I think I need to switch up my morning routine because it's just not serving me right now. I'm falling into habits that I don't want to continue moving forward as I continue to prep. So what I've started doing is I looked at Huberman Labs, like his optimal morning routine. And I was like, how can I integrate some of his pieces into my morning and try to switch it up for myself and also maybe optimize the way that I feel. So what I've been trying to do is I get up on my first alarm and I take my dog out immediately because the sun is rising at that time. So I'm getting up at a set time every day when the sun's rising, take him out, get that sunlight in my eyes like right away, come home and like hydrate and just kind of sit and journal. And then I go do my cardio. And by that point, it's been like 30 to 40 minutes since I actually like got up and got moving. And my cardio has been so much faster because I'm actually awake. I have energy and I feel good. So kind of switching that around I've only done it the past few days, but I have felt that shift. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I have my like new morning routine that I'm going to continue moving forward. But that's something that I think is important too, is being willing to experiment with yourself in the off season and in prep. Like maybe the routine you have established isn't working for you and that's okay. Maybe it did work for like a few months, but you're just feeling resistant to it. Lean into that and figure out like, why am I feeling this way? And then change it. Like it's okay to experiment. And I think before I've struggled with that because it
has to be this way.
Yeah. Like
I've always done it this way.
Exactly. Like I'm just like, oh, well, this is what got me to my pro card. So I have to do it this way. But it's like, no, it's a new season of life. I've grown, I've changed. It's not serving me anymore. So let me try something new. And I love it. It's been amazing.
Oh, it makes me so happy for you. You've changed a lot. You've evolved a lot. Yeah.
Been a lot.
It were like the past month though. It's like you 4 weeks ago is different from you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your belief system, the way you talk.
I can definitely feel that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Been working on it.
Yeah. We can see it.
I want to hear your morning routine.
So I have, now I have cardio, but I just got updated yesterday. So like I haven't, what I love to do though, I love to get up before the sun rises to get outside. Although sometimes it's not the safest thing to do. So, I'm trying to just pick a way to walk that's still safe. Now that I have cardio though, I want to still walk before I do my cardio because I do feel like it helps my mindset. I don't like to be done with cardio and then be like, well, it's a daylight, because I feel like that's me still waking up. I feel like cardio is part of my before morning routine kind of thing. If I am able to like do my walk and get that over with and then do cardio, like I'll be in a better headspace. My initial walk, I don't like to have headphones or music or podcasts or anything. Like it's more me and myself, like hearing the noise. I like to hear the noise, be like grounded within earth and the universe. And then I like to affirm. Like I'll get to the bridge to look out on the water. And I like to say my affirmations towards the water. It's like I'm telling the universe. That's my morning routine. Up to that point is more me and myself. And then after that, I'll have like a podcast, or I'll usually do a podcast depending on where I'm at mentally. And then I'll do my coffee and like my work stuff after that. I'm trying to go to the gym earlier too now because it helps my mindset. I don't like to go there too late. I recognize like my training motivation is lower because I feel like I'm starting my day later. So if I'm just more active in the morning and then I put my training in the morning, like I have more time after my training session to explore life along with work, you know? Yeah.
I like that. I'm kind of the opposite.
I know.
Because I like to train later in the day, and it's solely because I like to get all my things done for the day. And then I like to go train as like my me time and my escape. And then I get to go home and just decompress. I don't have to do anything else after training. But I think you just have to find what works for you. Because I used to train in the mornings too. But the reason I didn't personally prefer that was just because I would just be thinking about work the entire time I was training.
Yeah.
And thinking about all the things I need to get done. So I like to just accomplish them and then go train and let that be my time. But I think everyone's brain is wired a little bit different.
No, I understand your way. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I think part of it too is the posing calls because they sometimes drain me.
Yeah.
And I don't. So the reason why I want to train earlier is because I'll like do posing calls from 1 to 4. And then I'm like, well, it's 5. And then 5 to 6 or 7, I'll work. And then it's like, well, now it's nighttime. Where was my me time?
Yeah.
And then my anxiety's high again because I'm like, well, I haven't done anything for myself for the past week. Well, it's like your schedule isn't like set up for you to do anything for yourself.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is like, I'm right in between you guys because I would love to train in the morning, but same with you. Sometimes like I have so much on my brain work-wise that I can't separate it. I'm at the gym and I'm thinking about work stuff. And then I leave the gym and I'm disappointed because I'm like, I don't feel like I was 100% there.
Yeah.
So lately, like my schedule has been, I go to the gym at like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.
Yeah. And
that's what I used to do, like back in Colorado. Yeah. And I did not like it, but it's been working for me lately. So I'm just rolling with it. Like it's not the most ideal, but it's kind of like, it is what it is. And like your schedule has to, like, it doesn't have to be set in stone. So like today I'm so grateful I got to work out early. And so now after this, I get to go home and work and I'm good.
Yeah.
But like tomorrow, I'm probably going to have to work out at 5 p.m. again.
Yeah.
And just not being so stressed about that, not having anxiety about that is super freeing. Like I know we like to have our structure and it works for each of us, but if you're also like in between, that's okay too. Like if you're kind of playing it day by day, because like shift workers, I'm sure they have to play it day by day. Their schedule changes. It's just, there's no one size fits all. There's no like one best routine or schedule.
You just have to find what works for you.
Yeah, I agree. So I was like, I think it was yesterday. I was in my house. I opened the door. I was like thinking about the times that my anxiety is high. And I was like, D, you don't have like a set routine in place that you follow like every day. That's where you start. So I think for a lot of people that have high anxiety, like just give yourself an opportunity to feel better by having something you follow. Yeah. Give yourself structure.
Give yourself the structure and then find like the freedom within that structure by moving things around and being open to shuffling. But yeah, I totally agree. That's a good point. Like having the structure in place and planning your day is very important.
Yes. Yeah. It's like the bare minimum stuff that you do. I am just, like you said earlier, the routine is just your morning routine. Like your anxiety is always so much lower. It's I do believe it's a key.
Yeah. Like accomplishing things when
it's
start your day.
That's literally, it's all about, for me, it's all about accomplishing things when I wake up. First thing I do when I wake up, make my bed, brush my teeth, wash my face. Cool. I accomplished those three things. Next, I go and I clean my kitchen and my house. So I clean the kitchen, make it beautiful, spotless, put away the dishes in the dishwasher, vacuum, tidy up the couch, like the blankets that are on the couch, and then I take my dogs on a walk.
Mm-hmm.
We go on a 30-minute walk, come back home, and then I get to work. And accomplishing, especially for me, the cleaning is a really big one for me.
Yeah.
It sets up my space so that I feel good in it.
Free.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm confined in this space. It's like I put pride into where I'm going to be working for the day, because I obviously work at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything's nice and tidy, and it relieves my stress so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me want to keep my house cleaner throughout the day too. It's crazy how just making that small action in the very first part of your morning makes you want to keep everything nice and tidy for the rest of the day too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then my mind is just so much more willing to flow and work because I'm in a space that's conducive to do so.
Yeah. I do feel like the space thing is huge because with anxiety, it's usually because there's so much on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there's too much going on in your space, then your anxiety is going to be high.
Yeah.
Because, I used to be someone, I would wake up on my phone and I'd literally lay in bed and I would work. That used
Just
to be
start.
exactly what I did. That was my morning routine. Lay in bed, work for an hour and a half. And then I'd get up and do things. That was not serving me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. Everyone got response times that were super fast.
It was
but it wasn't worth the mental. And I also think my athletes are getting a better version of me now because I'm more alive when I'm responding to them and aligned with myself at that point.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm working on too. So this was a goal of mine, and I think I forgot the goal, but it was I don't like to work in my house, but I catch myself working too much in my house. It's because I take posing calls there, and I'm just there, so I stay there. But I need to stop. If I had a bigger house, but I have an apartment, and it's
you're in a studio,
so I have 4 walls that I can't make my place that I rest and decompress be the same place that I stimulate my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something else that
I think that for you, setting up your apartment so that you have a workspace and then you have your own, your bed is your decompressed space, that would be my suggestion to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to get out of the house more.
It's really hard.
Yeah. It's mostly if I had I just need to put my posing calls in a place that allows me to do that. Yeah. But morning routines. What about nighttime routine? Do y'all have a nighttime routine?
That's the next one to work on.
So I'm pushing myself to do it now.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing is I'm on my phone too late, and it's usually because I'm working or buying stuff or planning my day on my phone. But I'm setting an alarm on my phone every day at 7. That's the time. It doesn't matter. It has to be put away.
Yeah.
Because I recognize that I'm so tired in the mornings, and I think it's because I'm on my phone too late, and I'm my mind's stimulated. Jay called me the other day. It was actually 2 days ago. All my lights were on. It was pitch black outside. All my lights were on. It was so bright, and my phone light was on. He was like, "Why is it so bright in your house? That's how you're going to bed at night. Is you just have it so bright, and then you turn off the lights, and you're telling you believe that you're just going to sleep well." And I was like, yeah, I know it's wrong, but and I was like, okay, you're struggling to be so tired because when you wake up, because you don't have a system
to wind down.
Yeah. You just expect yourself to
just
flip the switch, and it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And how do you take care of your mind and body? You take care of it by doing that. So that's my next step.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like I have somewhat of a nighttime routine because when Zach gets home around 7, I tell my athletes I'm off WhatsApp by 8, so they know you're not getting a response from me by 8 p.m. And so then I know 8 p.m. phone is away, phone is usually down and in the kitchen. And lately, Zach and I have had separate nighttime routines. We used to eat together, chat, catch up, but we've been kind of on our grind mode. So what we've been doing is we sit together in our kitchen, and I have a book or I have my journal, and I try to relax my mind because I'm on my phone or on a computer all day long. That I can feel my brain wants to be looking at a screen and just be like fed dopamine, but I'm like, nope, like we're gonna write or we're gonna read. So I'm rereading the Harry Potter series right now.
I love that.
Those are my favorite books of all time. Like I just love them. So I'm reading Harry Potter right now, and I drink like a little cup of tea, and I just try to wind down. And then right before we like go shower and go to bed, we'll take Murph out for a little walk around the block. So I like, if I need to finish out my steps, I finish out my steps, or I get like just a little movement.
Extra.
Yeah. I like getting extra. It gives me a little dopamine. And then, yeah, we like come back from our walk and we just like go to bed. Like, I feel like the showering process too, like shower, brush our teeth, like put the dog away. That takes like 30 minutes for some reason. Like it takes, it takes a while. Yeah. Like you wouldn't think, but yeah. So right now though, I'm working on like shifting that back though, because we're getting into bed at like 10:15, and I'm just like, I want to be in bed by 9:30.
Yeah.
Like I want to shift it earlier. So we're trying to streamline it, but we do have like the structure.
That's
which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, y'all want to hear mine?
Dude, I remember when I lived with you, and it'd be like 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
just sitting on the couch. Yeah. It has gotten better. I've been going to bed a little bit closer to like 11. I know that still sounds really late to a lot of people.
I feel like that's normal.
But
like 11. Yeah.
I also am not someone that wakes up super, super early in the morning. I like to wake up with the sun. So normally I let the sun wake me up in my room. I know that sounds weird. I really am someone, I don't like waking up to an alarm, and I like to naturally wake. And luckily for me, generally when the sun starts to rise, that's when I start to rise. So I get up around 6:45, 7 recently, because that's when the sun has been rising. And I sleep really good. And so
she sleeps so good.
I sleep really soundly. I have no sleep issues. I sleep hard and I sleep very good.
It's insane. It's like with the digestion I used to have.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But that's why, like, I do not recommend this to other people. But what I do at night is after I'm done working, I normally cut off work an hour to 2 hours before I plan to like go to bed and relax. And my relaxation to me is I eat my last meal, I sit on the couch, and I watch a movie or a TV show. And I just hang out and chill with my friends. We'll have discussion, we'll talk, or we'll just zone into the TV. And I know that screen time isn't recommended before bed, but it works. It works for me. And I sleep great. I wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. Sure, I have my bad days, but those are mostly mental health related as opposed to sleep related. And generally, my good days outweigh my bad days. It's like one bad day a week. But generally, because when I watch TV, I don't know why. I know that we get like a dopamine response from it, but I do not have a thought in the world.
Yeah.
When I am watching TV, it is literally, I am zoned out. I am able to disconnect. I am able to just completely disconnect from everything. And it's a very calming experience for me. So then I'm always like ready. I literally crawl into my bed. There's most nights where I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, I could fall asleep right now and I don't even want to get up to go to bed.
Yeah.
But I do.
I actually think that's really cool. Like everybody is different. And I think with fitness again and bodybuilding, we get so attached to these like ideas that like screen time's bad. Like don't have a screen. But everybody is different. And like you're saying, it literally doesn't impact your sleep. Yeah. It is not impacting you in that way. And it's your form of relaxation.
Exactly.
So like it's like, why would I take that away from myself if it's working?
And if I were to journal or read a book, that would be something that would make my brain so awake.
Like stimulating.
That's something that would be extremely stimulating to me, and where I would not be able to like calm down.
Yeah.
Like I would very much be very engrossed in what I'm doing, but I don't know what it is about TV. I think it has a lot to do with the way I was raised also, because that's what my parents did, is like relaxation. At the end of the night, we always watched a TV show together and then we went to bed. So that's been a part of my life for my entire life.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's right or wrong, but it does work for me personally.
I like that. It is. There's
right
no
for you.
right or wrong. It's like what works for you.
There's a lot of people that will tell me it's wrong though. Get off that screen. I'm like,
just like,
no, I'm relaxed. I promise.
I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there is a difference. Like if TV or movies are something that stimulate you
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get good sleep, it might not work for you, even if emotionally you would love to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, I get engrossed in it, but like it emotionally charges me to where I'm like, whatever I'm watching, I'm like.
I think it also depends on what you watch. You have to be smart about what you watch before you go to bed. And generally, I like to watch a cooking show or a documentary, like a historical documentary of some sort.
Yeah.
Those are like what I like to go to, because while they are like they aren't as stimulating as like an action movie or an action show or something that has a twisting turning plot that's like crazy. It's something that's very like midline and is it like you can just relax watching.
Enjoyable. Yeah.
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 I like that a lot.
I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It always has, though.
Yeah.
I remember, well, there would be two occasions when I'd live assess and I'd like try to watch something. One, most of the time I would sit there and then realize that I'm not watching and I'm like looking in outer space. Or two, she'd put on something funny, I'd just start laughing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get stimulated. It's funny.
I do too. I will admit, I mean, there's sometimes when like, if Zach wants to watch something, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No extremes. We're just like, ride the midline.
Mm-hmm.
Find what works for you.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's kind of the main storyline of what we have talked about here is whether it's your off season or your prep, find habits, find routines, find what works for you, and apply that in all areas of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get through the off season, the monotony of off season and the monotony of prep is finding structure and routine that you can flow with through your life. But don't be scared to switch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever works best for you isn't right. I mean, is right. None of it's wrong. So I wasn't either method could be right or wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Something just like fell from the ceiling next
Oh.
to you.
Yeah, a little fluffy.
Oh, it's a fluffy.
I'm glad it's not I did think it was a spider, but I didn't want to freak you out. So I'm glad that it's not a spider.
That would have been a fun, exciting ending.
Yeah. Just like jumps up and
Bites my cheeks. Close up.
we have spider
bad.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good place to wrap up. But I appreciate everybody who listens. Hopefully they found this helpful. I know I find these kinds of chats helpful because it helps me kind of realign and like consider new possibilities. So I love hearing your guys' thoughts.
Thank you.
And I'm excited for next week.
Yes.
See you soon.
Can't wait to see you.
Bye.
Bye. I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noa.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up Instagram or in the podcast under, if the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews. Let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.